Hey guys, welcome back. So I've made a few videos if you are on a budget and you're trying to find something to film yourself to start doing YouTube golf. And now in today's video, we're going to talk about if you do have a budget and you're ready to start jumping into buying an actual camera. What I'm really excited about today is I had an actual channel who reached out. They've been making YouTube golf content already. They're ready to take that next step of buying their next camera, and they're trying to decide if they should go between a Handycam, like camcorder style, finger flicker style, where you can zoom all the way into the ball, or is there another option? So big shout out to Birdie Fever Golf. Like, go and follow them, go check out their YouTube channel. I really appreciate them reaching out and asking for some guidance and help on their gear list. So that's what we're going to talk about today. This matches up with when you are ready to take the next step. You're ready to get off the Osmo or the GoPro or your phone and you're ready to start investing into an actual camera, then this is going to be a perfect video for all of you guys too, and not just him and his channel. So the option of going with a Handycam style, camcorder style for YouTube golf. The pro side of it is you don't have to worry about ever anything being really out of focus. What's great about it for us with YouTube golf is we can zoom all the way into the ball when we hit it off the tee, when we're on par threes, when we're hitting approach shots, you'll be able to zoom all the way in. File sizes are not very big, so it's easy on the computer load when you're trying to edit, which is something to consider into every camera that you purchase. Make sure that your computer can handle all of the stuff that it's going to be producing out of that camera. It's very expensive to get the higher end camcorders that look very good. If it's not that, then the other ones kind of are pretty bad, like as far as image quality. Now, if I was going to be filming YouTube golf matches every single day, definitely something I would consider putting in the arsenal. But if it's not YouTube golf matches every day, you're buying literally $1,000 like specific thing that is kind of used only for YouTube golf matches. It wouldn't be your one and done. You bought a camera, your image quality goes up, your production level goes up. It's not really gonna solve that problem. That's my big con about jumping into the camcorder as your first camera to up your production level. It's more of, I would say, an extra feature to eventually put into the kit, but it wouldn't be my main thing that I would buy first out of the gate. This option that I'm going to give you today could be the option that is not only built on, but also has way better image quality, and you can zoom in, not as far as the camcorder style, but you can zoom in, and it does look really freaking good. And you will notice the quality difference. The camera that I would pick for you guys, if you're trying to do YouTube golf matches and you're trying to film stuff indoors, and you want to be able to have like a rig that eventually you could build off of with more lenses, and also be able to show that production quality and that image quality level definitely increased. The cameras that I'm going to recommend is going to be the Sony a6700 and also the Sony FX30. Both of those are literally perfect options. I am going to recommend that the first lens that you must have is going to be the 18-105 f4 power zoom lens by Sony. I have this lens. I have used this lens all the time. Every time when we go out onto the course, that is the setup that I'm gonna have. Now, which one should you pick in between both of those? If you want the capabilities of taking really sharp, really good photos as well for your thumbnails or for anything that's out there on the course, you need to go with the Sony a6700. The autofocus is insane. I was never even a big autofocus guy until I got that camera in my hands, and the AI autofocus is next level. I have used that camera for so many things. I've used it to film the best players, some of the biggest personalities in golf, biggest YouTube golfers, and I've used it for some of my own stuff as well. I've even tossed it off to my girlfriend, and she's been able to like use that camera and loves that setup of the power zoom lens and the small body of the a6700. But that small body packs a lot of firepower, you guys. You've got 4K 60 in there. You can film in a flat profile, so you can really bend the colors up. It's got really good internal amps for the shotgun mics that you would put on there. Now, that's not to say that the FX30 can't do photos as well. The FX30 feels much better in the hand to hold. If you get the a6700, sometimes that's kind of the gripe with Sony cameras, is they're not the most comfortable things to hold. You can literally film commercials on the FX30. A lot of people choose to film on the FX30 over full frame sensor cameras, which if you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry, you don't need to know what I'm talking about. But yes, is it crop sensor cameras, the A6700 and FX30? Yes, they are. But that doesn't make them bad, especially because you're filming YouTube golf. You're outside, you're getting plenty of light in to the sensor, and it's gonna beat out all of the camcorders in low light. You're gonna have dual card slots, so you'll be able to record to both cards. Why is this important? Because you can run the risk of a memory card being corrupted. So you could go out and film 18 holes with Tiger Woods, and if you only have one memory card slot and it gets corrupted during that time, and you don't know until you get back home, plug it into your laptop and be like, oh shit, all of this is fucked. There's no way to get it back because you don't have a backup recording. It has 2 card slots, so you know that you're covered. If one card goes down, the other one was recording anyways. So you're good to go. So that checks off like another safety net, which you're gonna wanna have. Both of those cameras will never overheat. I don't know who's doing these overheating tests where you film in 4K 60 for like 7 hours long until the camera overheats. Yeah, every camera is gonna overheat when you're filming at 4K 60 for that long. Like, especially in golf, you ain't doing that. And I have filmed in some really hot days in Arizona and some really hot, humid days in Florida. These 2 cameras are the first ones that I would say you need to get first, and this is a great entry point in, because after that, it's just gonna be about lenses. It's just gonna be about audio, because the image quality is gonna be there. And what's awesome too with the FX30 is that once you attach that power zoom lens, you actually have a trigger on the side of the camera here where you're able to zoom in and control that power zoom lens. So just like the camcorder, but with way better image quality. Talking this out loud, if I'm doing a lot of YouTube golf and specifically only doing matches and I'm not really taking photos that often or ever, then I'm 100% going with the FX30. Let's break down the price cost for this. Now you're gonna spend about $1,000 for that camcorder. For the FX30 body, and I highly recommend you guys, like, definitely shop a used market. You can absolutely find the FX30 for used, like a lot of different places. Check Facebook Marketplace, check OfferUp, and honestly, check out camera stores like Sammy's, check out B&H, even check out Sony's like Refurbished. So the Sony FX30 and that specific lens, if you wanted to buy both of those brand new as a pairing, I actually found it here on Amazon for $19.34. So that's actually a really good deal. Yes, it's $2,000 that you'd be spending. If you're already gonna spend up to $1,000 in a camcorder, you're gonna run into roadblocks with that camcorder. It's only gonna be able to do so much. That image quality is going to fall apart, and your $1,000 initial investment is, you're gonna be wishing you had spent a little bit more money to get something, especially if you're all in with YouTube golf or creating golf content. If you're all in and you see this as a long-term thing, you need to make long-term plays, meaning it might be a little bit more investment up front, but long-term, you're gonna be sitting real pretty with making sure that gear is not a problem. Unless you're gonna spend the money to bring someone else out who has their own gear. For this setup, and that price is actually really, really good if you're trying to buy brand new. Don't sleep on used if you have someone to come with you and that can test everything out for you. You can definitely get this pairing together for less than $2,000 for sure. Now, if we wanted to go A6700 route, you can find that camera brand new for like $1,400 on Amazon. And then you get that lens, which you can find somewhere in the neighborhood of around $300, only at $1,700 there. And that's a pretty good spot to be in, especially for a brand new camera and maybe a used lens. All 4K images are not built the same, trust me. I showed you a 4K image with something that was in low light on a camcorder, and then I showed you a 4K image that is on one of these bodies that I suggested for you, and clearly you could see the difference. You fall into this category as someone who I am talking to. What would I recommend for you? I would recommend you choose anything in between the A6700 and the FX30 from Sony, because you're buying into the ecosystem where you'll be able to put more lenses on. The image quality will look really good. It's gonna check off all the boxes. You won't be limited to the gear, and you're gonna keep everything from $2,000 and down. All right, guys, so that's what I think is going to be a great entry point setup when you're ready to jump from off of phone, off of Osmo, off of GoPro, and you want to get something else that's going to be better image quality. But pound for pound, if you put a camcorder up against any of these two cameras, those two cameras are going to blow that out of the water all day, every day. I would never recommend gear that I have not used, and you guys, I've used it, obviously, as you saw, with some of the biggest and best creators out there and some of the biggest and best players out there as well. So if it's good enough to film them, it's probably good enough for your stuff as well. And then if you want links to anything that I actually use currently to film, and then also everything that I listed in this video, I'm going to put links down below where you can hopefully find it at the best price. So thank you so much for watching, you guys. I appreciate it. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.